Hey, speaking of stupid stories, it shouldn't really be stories. Tee Higgins didn't show up today. No kidding.
Yeah.
Obviously, he wasn't going to show up. But the parallels to the Jesse Bates thing just continue. In fact, Jesse Bates talked about Tee Higgins today down in Atlanta.
I didn't hear that.
I hope that my tweet prompted the question. I don't know. I haven't seen the full press conference of how it came up, but Jesse basically saying like, T's got to know. I did let some of that stuff get to my head when I was in Cincinnati, and that can happen, but you got to go ball out because it's not you're in a contract year. Every year is a contract year in this league, and you got to remember that. And that was kind of Jesse Bates's message to Tee Higgins a little bit, which is fine, but it is funny. I mean, it is an absolute just cut and paste job at this point between Tee Higgins and Jesse Bates. Oh, okay, Tee Higgins, he hasn't signed yet. When will he sign? When will he come up? Will he play this season? Will he show up in the middle of this season? No. Book the preseason Jesse Bates sweet game 3. All right, and just put T in it at this point because it seems like we are going to follow play by play every single way that the last one went. And you know what? Both sides should hope that it ends up the same way because both sides felt like they ended up winners in that in the end of the day.
Yeah, and I did the math. I just put a story up at Pro Football Network about this. So mark it on your calendar right now, 90 days from right now, because that was Jesse. Jesse did the suite in game 1 of the preseason, and then he signed his tag 2 days after game 2 of the preseason. And maybe it'll be a little longer for T because, as I wrote, with Jesse's position and being the quarterback back there on defense, he really did need to get in a lot earlier. I feel like T could show up on the Wednesday before the opener and be fine, step right in and play. So maybe he does hold out a little longer. But if it's apples to apples, which it certainly seems like with the same agent, the same tag, everything feels so much the same. You're looking at about 3 months from today when T's going to sign that, because it makes no sense. He's not going to sign it sooner. They can't fine him even the mandatory mini camp, training camp, they can't fine him if he hasn't signed the tag. So he's going to wait as long as possible to sign the tag. And then when he signs it, I fully expect him to be all in. Yeah, maybe you could see kind of an AJ Green injury nursing kind of thing if season goes sideways, but I don't think anybody expects this team to tank the way that team did. As long as this team is competitive and playing for playoff spots, and I expect T to be all in. He's got a lot on the line. I don't know how much, missing a few games would affect what he would get paid next year. But if he goes out and has an incredible season, that will definitely boost what people are going to be willing to pay him next year.
He's got everything on the line. This is the contract of his life he's playing for. You can bemoan this all you want to, but $21.8 million this year and everything to play for on his next deal. Like going out there and balling out is still the thing that is going to determine what his next contract and balling out. I mean, playing, there was a lot of talk this week when we got into, Adam Schefter and Dan Orlovsky and he's going to get paid was the message. And suggesting he's going to make business decisions out there. Look, Tee Higgins going out against Kansas City in the second half when everything said that he shouldn't go back out there in a season that was a lost season, essentially tells you all you need to know about Tee Higgins and what you can expect. And when the major knock on him, because it's hard to have one, is the fact that he hasn't played as many snaps in a season as some of these other elite receivers have, the people that are getting paid at the level that he wants to get paid at. Well, guess what the best way for him to kill that myth is? To go out there and play a full season and play at the level that he always does when he is out there. And that's, I think, the expectation of the Bengals. And it certainly sounded like the expectation of T. This stuff is just, it's hot. You know what? This whole opening news segment from us, Jay, is just, hey, look how the internet's ruining stuff. Hey, look now. Look over here. Give us this. It's a hot topic. Contract dispute. Big-time receiver. Bengals. Wow. Right? We know how this is going to end. Everybody knows what it is. There's nobody that has nervousness surrounding this situation. Not on the Bengals side, and certainly not that I think even on Tee Higgins' side, because I think we all know where he's going to end up and what he's going to do when it's time to actually play. And I fully expect it to go the way that Jesse Bates did again. And that is he shows up. Everybody's happy to see him. You forget that it even happened, and he goes and has a nice season, and then he collects his money next year. Now, we'll get into different discussions then about second franchise tag options, if that's something they would consider. That's another day. This is about the 2024 Bengals, and there's no sweat building about the Tee Higgins situation.
No, he even said at his youth camp last month, he fully expects to play for Cincinnati this year. He's not even threatening a holdout or anything crazy, and nobody would buy it anyhow. No one's going to turn down $21.8 million guaranteed.
No, you can do whatever floating of information that you want to do through whatever reporters or however you want to do it to put it out there. We know what it is, man.
Yeah.
Like it's okay to go out there and have a great year and make $21.8 million this year and then make a bunch after that wherever. Like it's okay. There doesn't need to be, the idea of, will there be business decisions from Tee Higgins? Like, look, man, I would be absolutely stunned if that happened.